that I had to read for this was about like ethical concerns in the classroom, and a lot of what it talked about really didn't have to do a whole lot with like what I plan on doing. I don't plan on teaching senior high, so that concern I felt like didn't really apply to me. But as I read it and looked through the scripture more, I began to realize that it does apply to me also, even though I'm not going to have like seniors graduating from high school that are going to be going to college next year in my class. So the initial concern that it discussed was a guy named Alan, and he is a student that has always struggled with spelling, and he is now in like his second year of French in high school, and he's at the point where the school has to make a decision if they're going to let him graduate or not. And they're saying like he's a good student and he would do really well in college, but he's failing French, so technically we shouldn't let him graduate. And so the concern is, should the teachers at the school let him graduate because he's a good student? What should they do? And when I first read through, I was like, well, I mean, if he's not prepared for college, he shouldn't graduate. But then I thought about when I was in high school, and I'm sure all of your schools, I know that my school had graduation counselors, and they kind of like helped people along whenever they were struggling in any of their classes, whether it be language or math or whatever. And then, I mean, it makes sense that like as Christians, we should be concerned about that kind of thing. So I found several scriptures that apply to that issue, and one that I really like kind of rested on was Luke 6:37 through 40, and I'll just go ahead and read all of it. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For the measure you use it will be measured back to you. Then Jesus gave the following illustration. Can one blind person lead another? Won't they both fall into a ditch? Students are not greater than their teacher, but the student who is fully trained will become like their teacher. And that's a lot, but basically what I got from that is, if we are being successful teachers and we are loving our students well, they're going to become successful teachers again one day, no matter what they're doing, even if they don't become a teacher. And then there were two proverbs that I really liked. The first one was Proverbs 9:9, which says, give instruction to a wise man and he will still be wiser. Teach a righteous man and he will increase in learning. So I took this to say, in this case, for the student, the faculty and the counseling department should help the student to help increase his grade instead of just letting him pass without having him increase his grade in French. They shouldn't just let him pass by and say, whatever, he won't have to take French in college, that's fine. They should instead help him to get tutoring or whatever he needs to be able to increase his grade. And then for us, most of us being like elementary level teachers, some in middle school, for us, we should not necessarily fail our students if they're not doing well in our class. And we shouldn't let them pass without actually putting forth effort, but we should help them where they need it. I think that's the most important thing that we can provide for them, is to help them learn what they need to learn instead of just letting them learn that life is easy and everything is handed to you. But we also shouldn't let them fail and say, oh, well, you didn't learn anything, so it doesn't matter. You'll just repeat this grade again, because that's not really helpful either. And the other proverb that really hit home based on this was Proverbs 19:1, and it says, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than one who is crooked in his speech and is a fool. So that one also went along with what this was talking about, because you shouldn't just say like, oh, I don't need to be a better person, I don't need to go to college, I can just figure out how to graduate high school and then I'll be fine. I think this student should still push himself to go a little bit further, because I think everybody needs to be challenged in some way, even if like it seems like way far away and way too difficult. You can always get the help you need to get there. Does anybody have any prayer requests?